Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great day today because if you're higher up in the video game industry, you probably are not having a great day. And that is because Gen Z has heavily cut back on how much money they are spending on video games. So I was just scrolling around today when I came across this article right here by Vice, and yes, the same Vice who made this amazing article right here about putting a Joy-Con in their butt. But it's called Gen Z is cutting back on video game purchases, like really cutting back. The rug's not just being pulled out from under young people, it's being burned while they're still standing on it. And you know, personally, I think this is just fantastic news because if we stop buying modern slop and modern bad video games, these companies will actually be forced to give us what we want. But what I thought we could do today is just go through the article together and find out just how much Gen Z has cut back on buying modern video games. So let's go ahead and get into it. Are you a Zoomer? Do you like video games? And does it feel like the economy reeks? Well, if you've been avoiding that Nintendo Switch 2 purchase, or you plan on skipping out on EA Sports College Football 26, you might not be alone. Apparently, spending on the gaming industry is bottoming out among Gen Z, at least according to data from the American research group Circana, I think is how you say that? Circana? I mean, dude, check, and check. I am a Zoomer, I think the economy is a steaming pile of shit right now, I'm avoiding the Switch 2, and I'm not buying college football. Now, in this article, they try to paint it as if it's all just the economy and there's no fault of the video game industry, but we all know that's not the case. I mean, so far, I have bought one game that has come out in 2024, and that is Doom: The Dark Ages. The only other game that I've played that actually released this year was Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and I played that one through Game Pass. I also played a little bit of Expedition 33, but it's not that I can't afford more games or anything like that, it's just that I'm either not interested in them or there's older games that I want to play more. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the state of the economy definitely plays a part in this, but it's not the full picture. Zoomer spending on games dropped by nearly a quarter. That is actually fucking insane. In a June 24th report from the Wall Street Journal, Circana found both online and retail purchases among ages 18 to 24 dropped by 13% from January to April compared to the year prior. In particular, Circana found that young Zoomers were spending nearly 25% less per week on video games than in 2024. While purchases for accessories, small appliances, technology, and total general merchandise had all dropped with young adults, video gaming took the lead in Circana's data. The drop-off was enormous for 18 to 24-year-old gamers, as data on other age groups revealed a minor, single-digit decline well under 5%. 25% less per week on video games compared to 2024 is actually insane because 2024 was a rough year for the video game industry. Yet we somehow managed to do worse than that. I mean, just look how many studio closures there were last year because of people not buying the games that came out, for good reason if you ask me. Reporter Rachel Wolf concluded that contributing factors to dropped spending included a difficult job market, student loans, and a particularly high credit card delinquency rate among those aged 18 to 29. This group is struggling more than older cohorts, an economist with Wells Fargo told Wall Street Journal, since younger consumers are not only spending less today, but also probably saving less. That could dent their ability to build wealth in the future. I love how there's no mention of any of the issues in the video game industry itself. Like, it couldn't possibly be that some big franchises have taken a massive dip in quality, and that's pushing people away from gaming. And I know someone's gonna leave a comment about, well, just play indie games, but the truth is, like most casual gamers that stick to one or two franchises, if their franchise goes downhill, they'll just say fuck it and find a new hobby. Like, do you really think the 55-year-old dad with 3 kids who plays Call of Duty for an hour every single evening is gonna look up a YouTube video of the best indie games to play? I mean, come on now, let's be realistic. Like, the things they pointed out are true, but they're not the full picture. Matt Piscatella, an executive director and video game industry analyst with Circana, shared some insights in a thread on Blue Sky. Overall, purchasing by 18 to 24s has plummeted, especially when compared to other age groups, he wrote. The rug's not just been pulled out from under young people, it's being burned while they're still standing on it. Video game spend among 18 to 24s is down sharply. Young grads are having a much tougher time finding jobs. Student loan payments are restarting for millions of borrowers. Credit card delinquency rates have risen to their highest points since before the pandemic, and they show a chart here with spending for 18 to 24-year-olds. As Wolf's report notes, young consumers are expected to spend heavily in the entertainment sector, given college students and recent grads traditionally have low financial responsibilities. But if Gen Z's young adults can't spend on gaming, that isn't a promising sign for the industry's future. 18 to 24-year-olds who are strapped for cash today may be strapped for cash tomorrow. If so, the wealth gap between Zoomers and Millennials could simply increase over time, and as some Millennials cut back on gaming to fund life responsibilities, like family care or repairing a house, Zoomers might not be able to replenish that lost income left behind from the youngest millennial consumers. Could it possibly be that Gen Z is more in the know about what games are good and what games are bad because they have more free time to talk about gaming and stuff? I mean, I'm just putting it out there, man. I found this when searching for which age group watches the most YouTube gaming videos, and it says the most active group watching gaming content on YouTube is Gen Z, roughly ages through 13 to 27, with millennials roughly ages 28 to 43 also being a significant audience. Younger audiences, including teens and young adults, are particularly drawn to gaming content on YouTube, with many using it as their primary source for discovering new games and watching gameplay. Down below it says elaboration, Gen Z and YouTube. A report by DigiDay highlights that Gen Z teens overwhelmingly prefer YouTube for gaming content, with a significant portion using the platform to learn about new games. So like if you're a Gen Z viewer or something and you learn about a new game and you see everyone shitting on the game, you're probably not gonna buy that game. All the YouTube commentary channels and, news channels that call out some of the practices with these games, all these Gen Z viewers are seeing that shit, and it's pushing them away from games that just aren't good, which is a lot of the AAA industry. I actually read recently that half of the sales for recent times when it comes to gaming are the indie and AA scene. But I don't know if the indie scene is really big enough to ever replace the AAA scene, but it is very interesting to watch the industry shift like this, and it's going to be entertaining to watch the future of the gaming industry despite the fact that it might be a complete clusterfuck. Because developers are gonna have to start making games that we actually want to play for good prices, or, well, they're fucked. And the industry really thinks $80 games is a good idea. We'll see how well that plays out. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like. If you didn't, you can leave a dislike, and yeah, peace.